The fourth caliph of Islam was the rightly guided caliph was Hazrat Ali Radiallahu Ta'ala anhu. And this topic is related to Islamiyat paper 2, and we know that one question is related to this topic. It usually comes, and there are four rightly guided caliphs which are the part of our syllabus. And the main question that could be asked about the Caliphate of Ali Radiallahu Ta'ala anhu could be that outline the main events of the Caliphate of Ali, or they may ask you such type of question like which came in June 2014, that Ali's caliphate was riddled with the problems. Describe what these problems were. Okay, they may ask you to write about the main events which occurred in the caliphate of Ali, or they may ask you to write about his election or his martyrdom. And the particular battles could also be asked from his caliphate, like write about the battle of Camel, or the battle of Siffin, or the battle of Naharwan. These are the three major battles which were fought during his Khilafat. So the question related to the Caliph Ali Radiallahu Ta'ala anhu, the first thing that you must prepare is about his election. Okay, that you must know that how he has been elected as a Caliph. The first thing is his election. Then we will later on discuss the topic of the way the battles were fought during his Khilafah. Different battles which were fought during his rule were also discussed in our class. Like particularly the Battle of Camel, we will discuss it in detail in our today's class. So how he has been elected as a caliph, this is the main topic that we need to discuss it today. His election as a caliph. We know that Usman has been assassinated by a group of people who came from different places. Okay, they were from Egypt, Kufa and Basra. So they were from Egypt, Kufa and Basra. So they were on one point that they wanted to remove Usman from the post of Khilafat. But they differed with one another that whom to nominate after his death. Okay, they killed Hazrat Usman. They wanted to remove Hazrat Usman and in which they were successful. And after the death, there was no ruler for 3 days. No caliph, no ruler for 3 days. Medina was without any caliph. Okay, for 3 days after his death. And after 3 days, when they decided to return, they decided to go back. They thought to nominate someone in place of Hazrat Usman anhu as a caliph, since majority of them from Egypt and they favored Hazrat Ali anhu. So they asked Ali anhu to take the charge of the office. But Ali anhu refused, saying that under these circumstances he is not willing to take this great responsibility. He refused to accept the charge at that time, saying that he is not willing to take this charge at this critical moment. When Ali anhu refused, they asked Talha and Zubair. Okay, Talha and Zubair were also asked, but they also refused, saying that in these conditions or in the presence of Hazrat Ali anhu, they are not ready to accept this great responsibility, or due to the conditions which prevailed there in Medina, they were not ready to take and to shoulder the responsibility. Afterwards, they asked people of Medina to take and to elect someone. Okay, the people of Medina were asked to take this responsibility and to nominate someone from them. They even refused, saying that in the presence of Ali, Talha and Zubair and these senior companions, they are not ready to nominate someone from them. So there was a complete deadlock over the election matter. There was a complete deadlock over this matter, that no one was willing to take the charge of the responsibility, to take this charge, to take this responsibility. So they gave an ultimatum. There came an ultimatum from. So they gave an ultimatum that if the caliph has not been elected and within next 24 hours, they will take some more drastic action. Fine. So this has been threatened by them. Okay, what they announced, they gave an ultimatum that if the caliph has not been elected within the next 24 hours, so they are going to take some more drastic actions. So the senior companions, the senior leadership gathered in Masjid Nabawi to decide that who would succeed Usman, who would be his successor. Okay, finally it was decided that the new caliph must have these four qualities. Okay, he must be brave, and he must be close to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Okay, close to Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and he must be pious and knowledgeable. Okay, pious, and the another characteristic was knowledge, that he must be have good knowledge. All these qualities were there present in Hazrat Ali to its full, to its maximum. Although the other companions too were brave, they were close to the Prophet, they were pious and having knowledge, but to the fullest, these qualities were to maximum. These qualities were there in Hazrat Ali. So the senior companions, they asked Hazrat Ali to take the responsibility and to take the charge of the office. He initially showed hesitation and reluctance, but when people, senior companions, they insisted him, so he decided to accept the charge and accept the office, but in public. That his path should be taken in public and not in secrecy. So finally, he has been elected as the caliph, and you must mention that Talha and Zubair were the first to acknowledge him as a caliph. Okay, they were the first to accept him as a caliph, and they take bath on his hand. Okay, they swore their allegiance to him as a caliph after being elected as a caliph. So they swore their allegiance to him. After being elected as a caliph, Usman was assassinated on 18 Zilhaj 35 AH. By the end of the month of Zilhaj 35 AH, Ali took the charge of the office. After being elected the caliph, the first thing which he did, he changed the governors. So change of governors was the first step which Ali Radhiyallahu anhu took. So change of governors. Okay, he noticed that Usman Radhiyallahu anhu, he faced a lot of problems because of this allegation, because of the allegation of nepotism, that he had appointed his relatives on the key posts. So Usman, the greatest allegation against Usman was of nepotism. Usman Radhiyallahu had he had some of his relatives on the key post. Ali Radhiyallahu decided to change all of them. Okay, he decided to change all those, particularly those who were the relatives of Usman. Okay, he discussed the matter. Since we know that it was the practice of the rightly guided caliphs that before taking any important decision, they used to consult with Shura. Ali Radhiyallahu did the same. He took advice from his senior advisors. Okay, what they advised him, the seniors, his senior advisors, his close associates advised him that he should not change and he should not take this step unless that he has taken the oath from them. Okay, see what they advise him, that he should first take oath of loyalty. Okay, he should take oath of loyalty, that they will remain loyal to him. Okay, so without taking this oath, he should not take this step. Okay, this was their advice. They advised him, the senior advisors, his close associates advised him to first take the oath of loyalty from these existing governors and then to change them. Okay, and they advised him not to remove all of them at once. Okay, not to remove or change all of them at once. Okay, one after another. And he wanted to change, and he should change them one after another. And they also advised him one more thing, not to remove those governors appointed by Hazrat Umar. Okay, not to remove those who wanted to, those who, so not to remove those who are appointed by Hazrat Umar Radhiyallahu anhu. Fine. If you have any problem, you can ask. You can write in the chat. So Ali Radhiyallahu anhu thought that he should change them all, to all of them together, all of them at once, and he should not wait, okay, to take the oath. And he decided to change all of them at once, and he ignored their advice, and because of which he suffered opposition, he faced opposition, and uh, there was too much resistance. Fine. He changed all of them, and because of this, he faced some problems. Like here, you can identify that he had on Syria, he had appointed Suhail bin Hanif as the governor. Okay, Suhail bin Hanif was appointed as a governor of Syria. When Suhail was sent to Syria, the Syrian forces sent him back to Medina. Okay, Syrian forces sent him back to Medina with the message that they are not bound to accept the orders of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, since he has been elected under the influence of the mischief makers, under the influence of the rebels. So they refused to accept the orders and they sent him back from the Syrian border, okay, back to Medina. So the new governor was not successful in taking the charge of the office. Okay, why advise him to take? Because they were aware about the possible resistance. क्योंकि उन्होंने क्यों एडवाइस किया था, उनको पता था कि without taking the oath from them there were chances that they can disobey him. ठीक है, तो before taking and this step they must take the oath from them कि they will remain uh, sincere with him and they will follow him. That is why it was important for him to take this step first. Fine. Okay, I will explain about the Battle of Basra, that why Aisha Radhiyallahu anha marched towards, okay, towards there. So Syria, Suhail bin Hanif was there. So he was sent there, but he was not successful in taking the charge of the office. Why? Because the Syrian forces sent him back with the message that they do not acknowledge Hazrat Ali as the Caliph, since he has been elected under the influence of the rebels, the mischief makers. Ali Radhiyallahu argued them that they must accept him as a caliph, since he has been elected by those who had elected Talha and Zubair. Sorry, who had elected Usman. Ali has been elected by Talha and Zubair. Talha and Zubair were also in the panel of the election of Usman. ठीक है, हजरत अली ने कहा कि इनको एक्सेप्ट तो करना चाहिए. क्यों? बिकॉज हजरत अली को उन्हीं लोगों ने इलेक्ट किया ना जिन्होंने हजरत उस्मान को इलेक्ट किया था. एंड अमंग्स दोज हु हैड इलेक्टेड उस्मान वर Talha and Zubair, and Talha and Zubair were the first who had acknowledged Hazrat Ali as the Caliph, and they were there in the election process of Ali also. But they people demanded that first Ali Radhiyallahu should take action against those who were involved in Usman's assassination. Those who were involved in Usman's assassination, then they will accept him as a Caliph, and then they will follow his orders. Okay? उस वक्त तक उनके ऑर्डर्स एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे और उनकी बात के ऊपर अमल नहीं करेंगे कि जब तक कि वो एक्शन नहीं ले लेते those who were involved in Usman's assassination. Okay, so Ali Radhiyallahu anhu started preparing to march towards Syria, since the governor nominated by him was not successful in taking the charge of the office, and it was an open revolt and rebellious attitude. So he wanted to take action, but before that he had to face another problem, and he had to march towards Basra because there happened another event, that was the Battle of Camel. Okay, the Battle of Camel took place, which is also called the Battle of Jamal, because Jamal, Arabic, it is camel. In Arabic we call camel as Jamal. It is also called the Battle of Basra, which was fought during the Caliphate of Hazrat Ali, the Battle of Basra, or the Battle of Jamal, or the Battle of Camel. The Battle of Camel was fought between Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Aisha Radhiyallahu anha. Okay, this battle was fought between these two forces. It was a civil war, and it resulted due to the misunderstanding which developed due to the delay in qisas. Okay, due to the delay in qisas. Qisas means life for life, blood for blood. With the death of Hazrat Usman, the Muslim Ummah got divided into two groups. Okay, one group started demanding for qisas, that Usman's assassination, those who had assassinated Usman should be punished immediately. And the other group who was of view that to first bring peace and stability in the Islamic Empire, and then the action would be taken. So this is how they got divided into two because of their difference in opinion. One group started demanding for qisas, those who were the relatives of Usman. Okay, those who were his relatives, they started demanding for qisas, and the other group, like Hazrat Ali and other senior companions, they were of view, ठीक है, उनका point of view ये था कि first to bring peace and stability in the Islamic Empire, and then the action would be taken against those who were involved in Usman's assassination. ठीक है, तो तब जाकर this is how the difference grew between the two, and because of this misunderstanding developed. Those demanding for qisas, they started thinking that the other group, they do not want to take action. They are supporting them. They are supporting those people who are involved in Usman's assassination. So this is how the misunderstanding grew further and deeper. Fine. So which resulted in two civil wars. The first war was the Battle of Camel, which was fought between Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Aisha. At the time, Hazrat Aisha Razilata anha was in Makkah for the performance of Hajj. She was in Makkah, and because she was performing Hajj, and she was very much grieved over the death of Usman Razilata anhu, that how mercilessly he has been killed, and no action has been taken. Okay, Ali has been elected as a caliph, and he has not taken any action against. Okay, so if we look into his caliphate, let us discuss it first again. That because of the death of Usman, it resulted in the dissension of the Muslim Ummah. Okay, the Muslim Ummah, which was united till the time of the Caliphate of Usman, in the last years of his Khilafat, there arose different differences, and they started dividing into different sects and groups. Okay, when they assassinated the third Caliph, they had to elect the new Caliph. I told you that there was no Caliph for 3 days. Okay, there were three candidates: Ali, Talha, and Zubair. First, Ali was referred for the post, but he refused. He refused and answered that leave me and seek someone else. Okay, leave me as a, I am better a counselor, I can better counsel, and I can be a better advisor instead of being a caliph. So I am better for you as a counselor than as a chief. So then they offered the post of Khilafah to the next one, the next senior member of the Shura, Talha and Zubair, by some other companions, but they refused it too, that they were not willing to take this and shoulder this responsibility. So there was a complete deadlock. They asked people of Medina. People of Medina, they remained away from all these activities. So they threatened that unless the people of Medina choose the caliph within one day, within next 24 hours, they would be forced to take some drastic actions. So in order to resolve the deadlock, all the Muslims, where they gathered? They gathered in the mosque, the Prophet's mosque. Okay, and it was 25th of Zulhajj 35 AH to choose a caliph, and Ali initially refused, but finally agreed. And he has been accepted by overwhelming majority of the people who lived in Medina. And I told you that Talha and Zubair were the first to acknowledge him as a caliph. But later on, since Ali Anhu has taken the charge of the office in a crisis-loaded atmosphere, there were so many crises everywhere. Okay, there were people who had killed Hazrat Usman. Hazrat Usman's tribe, Banu Umayyah, they started demanding for qisas. Okay, what they demanded? They demanded that the murderers of the caliph must be punished immediately. Okay, and several other people, including the leading companions, joined them. I told you that Aisha, Talha, Zubair, the other senior companions, they started demanding from Hazrat Ali to take the immediate action. Fine. So what was the point of view of Hazrat Ali? Ali was of view that that after the things had settled down and the normal conditions had been restored, he would take action. So what he wanted to first bring peace and stability, and when it would be restored, the normal conditions would be restored, then he would take action against those who had assassinated Hazrat Usman. Because, and what happened later on? He remained occupied in the civil wars throughout his Khilafat, and no expansion of the empire took place. Fine. Since, because they had the support, it is written because these are the areas. Okay, these are the areas of Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Palestine, and Jordan, where they had a lot of supporters. Okay, they went to Syria and the adjoining areas because they had a lot of supporters there and they had their rule. Like Muawiyah Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu was the ruler over here, and he was from Banu Umayyah. And in the same way, uh, uh, Egypt was also under the rule of the Umayyads. So these areas were Umayyads were very strong, and that is why most of the people they belong to Banu Umayya they went there. You can even mention that after the death of Usman Talano and his assassination, many people, many immigrants, those who had migrated from Makkah to Medina, they returned back to Makkah afterwards. Okay, this is again the outcome of the death of Usman Talano. Banu Hashim, Banu Umayya, and most of them they went back to Makkah. So what these mischief makers demanded, they started demanding to reverse the policies, particularly to change the governors. Okay, they also demanded from Hazrat Ali to dismiss all the governors appointed by Usman. Okay, but some companions did not agree with Hazrat Ali. They advised Hazrat Ali not to take such a hasty action, not to take this immediate action. Yes, these मैंने बताया ना Hazrat Muawiyah and some other governors, they did not give allegiance to Hazrat Ali because they did not accept him as a caliph because his election has been done under the influence of the mischief makers. So they were of view that first Ali has to take action against those who were involved in Usman's assassination, and then they will consider him as a caliph and they will obey his orders. Fine. तो ये दे एडवाइज हज़रत अली टू टेक, उन्होंने हज़रत अली को जब उन्होंने डिमांड की कि आप सारे गवर्नर्स को चेंज करें जो कि हज़रत उस्मान के रिलेटिव्स हैं, ठीक है, तो हज़रत अली वाज नॉट इन फेवर एंड हज़रत अली को उन्होंने ये एडवाइस की कि आप इतना जल्दबाजी में एक्शन ना लें, ही हैज़ नॉट टू टेक सच अ हेस्टी एक्शन, and this action of Ali worsened the things and it led to more dissatisfaction and unrest in the empire, especially in Syria. So when the Syrian governor, the one who had appointed Suhail bin Hanif को मैंने आपको बताया ना, ठीक है, तो what had happened actually कि उन्होंने उनको वापस भेज दिया. और in the meantime several people they started gathering around Aisha radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. Okay, Aisha who was in Medina, okay, not in Medina, ठीक है, she was in Makkah. Okay, इसको करेक्ट करना है कि she was in Makkah and for she was performing Hajj. She was, हम ये लिख सकते हैं she was going to Medina but on the way she returned back to Makkah because the people they appealed that to avenge the death of Usman radhiyallahu anhu. Hundreds of people including the governor of Makkah came out at Aisha's call, and in the meantime Talha and Zubair, those who had acknowledged first Hazrat Ali as the caliph, ठीक है, तो they when they had realized that Hazrat Ali is not taking any immediate action, ठीक है, तो they also left Medina and they joined Hazrat Aisha and the other senior companions, ठीक है, जो those who were demanding for qisas. Okay, Aisha radhiyallahu anha decided to go to Basra. Why Basra? Because majority of the people who had killed Hazrat Usman after his assassination, they had taken refuge in Basra. Okay, so Hazrat Aisha was on her way to Basra. More people joined her in the way, and by the time she reached Basra, there were 3,000 men under her flag. Okay, some sources even mention more strength. Okay, the governor of Basra resisted their entry. Okay, with that much power and force, but he has been arrested and he has been removed. Okay, she defeated the governor and captured Basra, and the governor has been arrested. So Basra was out of the situation there in Basra was out of control for Hazrat Ali, and when he came to know about the condition, so it was very much situation there was very much grave, serious. Okay, so Hazrat Ali Radhiyallahu anhu, when he came to know about this, what he did, so he decided to go over there. He himself marched there and he asked his son Hassan to manage an army from Kufa. Ali Radhiyallahu anhu himself went there and he sent his son Hassan to Kufa to prepare an army from there. Okay, you have to mention it there in your answer. Okay, see here too, that is about the battle of Camel. This one, I hope it is shared with you now. Okay, so this was fought in 656. Okay, Talha and Zubair, who were among the first to pledge the loyalty to Hazrat Ali, turned against him and raised a cry for vengeance. Okay, that they wanted to take revenge for the blood of Usman. Okay, they were joined in this opposition by Aisha. Together they raised an army of 900. यहाँ 900 लिखा हुआ है, but actually many sources mention that they had a strength of 9,000 men, and they marched towards Basra. Ali left with a force of 600 men, and he had also sent his son Hassan to Kufa. And from Kufa, he had successfully gathered a force of 7,000 men. Some sources mention that 9,000 men to support his father. Fine. So this is how again you can mention that Ali Radhiyallahu anhu and they both did not want to fight with one another, since they were aware about the status and the high status of one another, so they did not want to fight. Say. So negotiations went on and it took place between the two sides and they were successful. Okay, Ali Radhiyallahu anhu asked Aisha that why did she come over here? Okay, what brought her here? She told him that she wanted to remind the Caliph about the duty and about the responsibility of the deceased Caliph, the late Caliph. Okay, that he has to take action and he has to punish those who are involved in the assassination. Ali Radhiyallahu anhu reminded her that the way and the method she had opted was not good. Okay, the method she had started, the way she wanted to take action is not suitable. And Ali Radhiyallahu anhu told her that he wanted to take action, but the delay is due to some reason. The reason is that he has no proper evidence. It was not the work of few people or one person or few people. A large group was involved in it. And without having, okay, I'm repeating that what Ali Radhiyallahu anhu asked. Ali Radhiyallahu anhu asked that what brought her here. Okay, आयशा रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हा से उन्होंने पूछा कि आप यहाँ पे क्यों आई हैं. ठीक है, तो she told that she wanted to remind the caliph about his responsibility related to the deceased caliph, the late caliph, the one who died. ठीक है, तो उनको उनकी जो कैलिफ की डेथ हो गई उनकी बारे में उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को याद करवाने के लिए आई हूँ कि तुमको पता चले उनको पता हो कि व्हाट इज हिज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टुवर्ड्स दैट कैलिफ, द वन हु हैज़ बीन assassinated. So Ali Radhiyallahu anhu told her that the way she had opted, the method she had opted, it was not correct, it was not good, it is not fine. Okay, so Ali Radhiyallahu anhu ने फिर उनको ये बताया कि why there was a delay from his side. The delay is due to two reasons, that it is not the work of one person or a few people. It has been done by a large group of people. They were involved in it. Okay, there is a large group that has been involved in it in his assassination, and he did not want to take any action due to some haste or quick action, that he wanted to first investigate it properly and then he will definitely take action against those who are involved in it. So the peace talks were successful. Aisha Radhiyallahu anha was satisfied. Hearing this, they were satisfied and there were hopes of the peaceful settlement. उन्होंने जब कहा कि he wanted to take action, Aisha was satisfied, and both the sides they decided to return. Okay, so after reaching Basra, the messengers of Hazrat Ali assured Hazrat Aisha, Talha and Zubair that Hazrat Ali would avenge the assassins of Hazrat Usman as soon as peace was established in the state. The delay is due to the reason that he wanted to first bring peace and stability in the Islamic Empire. Okay, so but Ibn Saba and his henchmen, his supporters, you know about Abdullah bin Saba, the one who was from Yemen and the one who has initiated the Sabai movement and the one who was the actual person who had created this rivalry between Banu Umayyah and Banu Hashim, the one who was involved in Usman's assassination. So he and his supporters, after assassination of Hazrat Usman, okay, they had in order to hide themselves, they started they hide themselves amongst the Muslims, showing that they are also believers. Okay, so outwardly they were Muslims, but since they were the hypocrites, they wanted to create disruption in the Islamic Empire and they wanted to make them fight with one another. So they got alarmed. These mischief makers and these rebels, they got alarmed over this new development of peace settlement, and they planned that in the darkness of the night they would make a sudden attack on Hazrat Aisha's army. So they decided to make a sudden attack, a surprise attack in the darkness of the night, and with that they can start and initiate a war. So the peace talks were successful, but at night there was an attack on the forces of Hazrat Aisha, and the forces of Aisha Razilatul Anha thought that they have been cheated on the basis of the peace settlement, and they have been cheated, and a full-scale war started. The full-scale war started, which resulted in the loss of so many thousands of people. Thousands of people died. So Aisha Radhiyallahu herself came in the battlefield riding her camel. That is why this battle came to be known as the Battle of Camel, Jamal. She came in the battlefield and she tried to stop the battle. Ali Radhiyallahu was also very much greatly pained at this situation over this loss, and he wanted to stop the battle, but he has noticed that the battle was actually going on around Aisha's camel. Okay, the people wanted to kill Aisha Razilata Anha, and her supporters were protecting her. So Ali Razilata Anhu understand he realized the condition and he ordered his men to cut the legs of the camel to end the war, because that will be the sign for his victory. So when the battle started, Talha and Zubair, those who had come with Hazrat Aisha Razilata Anha and they were involved in the peace settlement between Hazrat Ali and Hazrat Aisha. So when the battle started, they left the battlefield. Okay, at the time when they left the battlefield, they were killed. Okay, at that time, an arrow hit Talha Radhiyallahu anhu while he was leaving the battlefield, and he died on the spot. And Zubair Radhiyallahu anhu, he also left the battlefield, but he was followed by a mischief maker, a rebel, one of the Sabaite. Okay, a mischief maker named Amr bin Jarmuz. Amr bin Jarmuz followed him, and Amr bin Jarmuz attacked him when Zubair anhu was performing his prayers in the desert. At one place where Zubair was performing his prayers, Amr bin Jarmuz attacked from behind and killed him. And after killing Zubair, Amr brought his horse, his sword and his ring to Ali, and he was expecting that he would get reward and he would be praised that he had killed Zubair. But Ali Radhiyallahu anhu, instead of praising him, Ali Radhiyallahu anhu said, "One who killed Safiya's son will go to hell. One who killed Safiya's son will go to hell." Okay, Zubair was the son of Safiya, the Prophet's aunt. One who killed Safiya's son will go to hell. Okay, so he was thinking that he has done such a great job. Okay, when he realized that he has done such a great sin, he killed himself. He committed suicide. So one who killed Safiya's son will go to hell. Safiya was the Prophet's aunt. He was the son of Safiya. He was the Prophet's cousin. Fine. So Talha and Zubair, they left the battlefield, but they were also killed by the mischief makers. And the battle came to an end, and it came to an end in favor of Hazrat Ali. Aisha Radhiyallahu anha was sent with due respect to Medina, and she has been escorted by her own brother Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, and later on she retired from the political life. Yes, this is also be quoted that at a time before the battle started, when the peace talks were going on, okay, at that time, um, Ali Radhiyallahu anhu reminded Talha and Zubair that one day, he reminded about the Prophet's hadith that one day you will fight wrongly, and they realized and they remembered the Prophet's hadith. Fine, that is why they were not fighting then, they preferred the peace settlement. And when the battle started, and they were aware about the peace treaty because they were the main key persons in the peace settlement between Hazrat Aisha and Hazrat Ali. So they had left the battlefield because they had realized that this is going wrong this battle is going in a wrong direction. So they had left the battlefield, and while they were leaving the battlefield, they had been killed. Several thousand lives were lost in this battle, okay, and which resulted in heavy losses. You can even mention that the battle which was fought, and at the camel of fell, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, who was fighting on Ali's side, rushed to help his sister and was asked by Ali to escort Aisha back to Medina. And the battle was won by Ali, but with the loss of several thousands lives. And and after this battle, Aisha radhiyallahu anha never participated and never took part in any political matter. Okay, with that we can say that that's all about the major battle, the battle of Camel, which was fought during the Caliphate of Ali.